and their strength is offense, and our strength is defense. And so, to me, that is a pretty good recipe for a pretty good matchup. So while I do think Maryland is a sneaky opponent, of course, they are a live dog. I don't think they pull this off.
Yeah, I would say 6.5. I'm probably personally taking the over.
Yeah,
I think Nebraska is going to go out with a statement.
Yeah, so let's just kind of talk through that a little bit. So, kind of what some of the keys to the game. I kind of have some keys that I put up here. Maryland's pass rush, of course, versus our protection. You know, we need to just get in rhythm early, make those quick reads, like we talk about pretty regularly, is just getting those underneaths going, and that way we can kind of limit some of that pass rush. I mean, if we're starting to just kind of dink and dunk, then make them use those ends to have to get out, you know, into pass pro, or occupy them with a route out there. Do something that keeps them from pinning their ears back. Come out running the ball. You know, one way to negate a pass rush is run the football, because that sets up your RPOs. That's how you hold a pass rush at bay. Set up your RPOs, run the ball effectively. Maryland's secondary versus Nebraska's receiver, they're a very young secondary over there. That is one thing I will say. So
their pass defense is like 70th or worst nationally right now. And they haven't, like we talked about earlier, they haven't played a great schedule. And their pass defense is a problem. Our pass offense is a problem in a good way.
Yeah, and I think this is the game where we're going to have to see Nebraska win those one-on-ones out there from our receivers. I think our receivers need to, I think, you know, timing is going to be important, but I think we just need to trust our receivers to create separation on their routes and just kind of hit them and just get into some kind of momentum. And then don't let Maryland's like defense just, you know, set up for a pass. Try to just cause as much chaos as you can for them as possible, and muddy it up as much as possible, because a freshman is going to operate clean in a clean situation and a clean execution. We've seen that things can go south for them, and you don't have to first force turnovers to do it. All you have to do is break up their rhythm, you know? And so if Nebraska can break up their rhythm, but then on top of that force turnovers, then this game could get ugly, and Nebraska could actually make a statement in this game, in my opinion. Just avoid the collapse, no mental mistakes, you know, and make the plays that win the game. And that's what we did against Michigan State, and that's something we have confidence this team can do now. Let's put it together. Let's put it together and see it for 4 quarters. 4-quarter execution, stay alive, and finish strong. And I think Maryland might jump out, you know, early and have a little bit of success maybe in their first, you know, couple drives, but I do think Nebraska ultimately will kind of lock in and disrupt them a little bit going in that second half. So
this would be a game I'd love for Nebraska to try and establish a run game, some sort of a run game. Yeah. I don't think you can run it 15. Would they run it 15 times between Emmett, Mackay, and Mosey last week? I want to see that number at 25 to 27, 28. Maryland has not been tested by anybody on the ground. They've got the 24th ranked rush defense, and they've played nobody that runs the ball consistently. And Nebraska actually, while yes, in Power 4 games, their running game has been kind of a mixed bag, but last week their running backs averaged over 6 yards a carry. So clearly they were getting some push. This could be a game in which you establish that run game.
Pit Snipe's upset that he said I'm somehow deflecting because he said Power 2. That's what you said. That's not deflection. I don't think you understand what deflect means. Is he a top 25 in Power 4? To honestly make that assessment, I'd have to really look at the other offensive lines and how they're performing. I don't know well enough to be able to
educated enough on other teams.
I'd have to look at their offensive lines and actually watch their offensive lines play. I would, let's say not top 25. Let's say top 35. I'll go out on a limb, and I probably feel comfortable putting them top 35. Money. I know she's paying. Let's see. That's the Metropolitan Utilities District. Pit them flexible. Okay, they're talking about that. All right, cool. Let's see. Do you have any bold predictions? Let's see some bold predictions for this game. I want to hear it.
I am going to say Dawson Merritt has 1.5 sacks, and then I will make a bold prediction that Marquise Watson Trent probably doesn't see more than 10 snaps a game for the rest of the year.
Last week I predicted we'd fake punt on Generation Red, which is the show that's on after this one, an hour after the show. But I think this week we're going to run a punt back for a touchdown. That's my bold prediction.
Gosh, I hope so. That would be insane.
I feel like we're this close. I really do.
I was looking at, like, I can't remember where I saw it. I wish I remembered. But Nebraska, just in all their different KPIs for like special teams year over year, is absolutely insane how much better they've got. And I've always been a guy that's like very much like it's about the Jimmies and Joes. In this case, it was about the X's and the O's because we're doing it a lot of the same dudes, and their special teams across the board has been phenomenal.
Absolutely crazy. We don't win that game without special teams. We do not win that game without special teams. Now, I guess I want to ask you a question too. What are some of the things that, like, if any of what's your takeaway from the running back room right now? I just want to get your thoughts on because we're going to get something we haven't seen before. Like, what are your overall thoughts on the running back room right now?
It's just talk until I see something at this point. I really could care less what they're saying. If they want to rock out with Mackay, if they want it to be Mosey, fine. But they need to make a decision. And quite honestly, you can't run package plays for these guys because then it becomes so predictable. And just get them into the rotation throughout the flow of the game. In limited action, Isaiah has looked phenomenal at making a man miss, getting to the second level and bouncing off tacklers. And Mackay has done a good job of hitting the hole quick, getting to that second level, seeing where he wants to go, making his cut and going. And it's very minimal action, but we need to start seeing them get some more reps. I mean, you can't keep doing 18 to 25 touches a game with Emmett Johnson, both through the air and on the ground. Like he's going to wear out over time.
One more thing too, I want to mention that we forgot to bring up. We're talking about the offensive line. We have not played against a lot of tough defensive lines except Michigan. So that's another thing we got to keep in mind too. This is not going to be a super tough defensive line, but that is something to keep in mind about this O-line too as we go along with the season. So let's not exonerate him completely yet. But comparatively versus Maryland, I think Nebraska is going to have to, of course, be better versus the pass rush, naturally so. And I just want to see maybe get a little bit more crazy with taking some shots occasionally. I feel like we don't take them enough. And I understand like the process that we do, but occasionally, when we sneak up and get, one of those third and shorts on the other side of the field, I want to see us go take a shot on that first down. It's not I don't want to waste a down, often. But like occasionally I would just like to see a shot be taken against a team like this, especially when we're up. 45-20 NU pick six, and Barney returns a punt for a touchdown.
That would be one hell of a game.
Pick six and a return punt for a touchdown. I can't even make a pick this week. Why not, Pitt Snipe? Feels like a trap game. Emmett is a closet Craig. That means. Agreed. Take 50-50. Pass on first down. Another thing too. Let me see. Where are my notes here? I got kind of our game. Okay, here's my game breakdown of how I think it's going to go. Okay, tight first half. Maryland, I think, comes out punching early. But I think last week this team builds momentum off of last week. They're able to kind of, I think midway through the fourth quarter, I think they're able to put this game away by a couple, let's say 17 points. Let's see. No, let's predict. All right, I'm going to go. What's the over-under?
It's a great question. Let me find it real quick.
40.5.
40.5? It's supposed to be like bad weather or something out there?
I don't know. Why is it so low? And the under's
40.5?
48.5, but still.
Oh. Well, that would
because the under's minus 115. Yeah, let's say 38. I'm going to keep predicting 38 till we get it, dude. 38 to 20. 38-17. Let's do that.
Okay.
What was yours?
I think Nebraska actually I'm sitting here and I'm kind of putting my thoughts together
Your
as I
thinking
look through
cap
their
on?
schedule. Yeah, I look through their schedule. I look through their stats. They've scored 20 or more points. I'm sorry, 24 or more points, but only against shitty teams. The one good team they played, they scored 20. So that's my line. 20 is my line.
20
So I'm going to
line?
go, I think I'm going to go 38-20 Nebraska.
Okay, 38-20, 38-17. So we're close. And for what it's worth, DeJuan Williams, our running back, has 59 carries total. Numbers haven't been the greatest because he had averaged 2.2 yards per carry versus Washington, 12 carries for 26 yards. So that should be a sign right there that Nebraska will be able to pin their ears back and really bring this pass rush after that.
They're averaging 3.3 yards per carry on the year.
That's terrible. It's supposed to be raining. Game goes like this. All right, let's hear it. 7-0 Terps, 17-7 Huskers at half, 31-17 to end the third, 45-20 at the end of the fourth. I will take that too, Dave.
Who said it's supposed to be raining?
Yeah, check the weather.
Yeah, were they playing College Park?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Saturday, 65 or 68 for the high, 53 for the low. Kickoffs at what, 2:30? Considerable cloudiness, high of 71, winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's day. The night, mostly cloudy during the evening, a few showers developing late. Low 54, winds 5 to 10, chance of rain 30. Yeah, 38-20 Nebraska.
Even if it rains.
A little wind
If it rains,
some clouds.
If it rains, this game gets even more in Nebraska's favor.
Yeah, because they can't run the ball to save their lives.
No, they have a quarterback.
Their top running back has 200 yards through 5 games.
Yeah, and they have a quarterback that he's a big body guy who has an arm on him. But yeah, that plays in Nebraska's favor. So if it rains, bring it.
But he's not a.
Huh? No.
He's like Aiden Child, but less talented, which I don't mean that in a negative way. I think Aiden's going to be decent. I think Malik's very good for being a freshman, but he's not a guy you're worried about taking off and running. He's got 11 rushing attempts a year.
He's not as athletic. He's a thrower. Butler's going to confuse that freshman all the game. Yeah, I 100% agree. Justin says he'll go under. Perspective disruption is hard to gauge ahead of time, but I think Wright and the D-line are starting to feel their oats. Matchup does dictate that too. If it rains 31-10 Nebraska, if it doesn't rain 45-20.